Hello students, welcome to Thakur Vidya Mandir High School and Junior College. Today we are going to start part 2 of chapter number 1, Introduction of Microeconomics and Macroeconomics. In this presentation, today we are going to learn about the features and importance of microeconomics. So we are going to learn two topics about the microeconomics, that is features of microeconomics and importance of microeconomics. First, we are going to start with the features of microeconomics. In that, first point is study of individual units. Microeconomics is the study of behavior of small individual economic units. That is, it refers to the smallest part of the economics. For example, individual firm, individual price, individual household, etc. In other words, we can say that microeconomics splits the economy into small individual units and further studies each unit separately. So that's why it is known as study of individual units. Now we are going to proceed with the second point known as price theory. Microeconomics deals with the determination of price of goods and services as well as factors of production. Factors of production, it means land, labor, capital and entrepreneur, which contributes towards the production process. And because of that consideration, they receive rewards in the form of rent, wages, interest and profits. And microeconomics deals with the determination of such rewards, that is the factor price, and it is the determination of price of goods and services. Hence, it is known as price theory. Third point is partial equilibrium. Equilibrium is the balance between two factors, any of the two factors of microeconomics. Deals with partial equilibrium, which analyzes equilibrium position of an individual economic units. It isolates an individual units from other forces and studies its equilibrium independently. It means it keep it separate all the individual unit and study it separately, do the equilibrium equally independently rather than in combined. Fourth point is based on certain assumption. Microeconomics begins with the fundamental assumption, other things remaining constant. It is an assumption based on ceteris paribus. Ceteris paribus is the Latin phrase which is translated as other things remaining the same, was used in English for the first time in 1601 by the famous writer Thomas Wright. Even based on other assumptions such as perfect competition, laissez-faire policy, pure capitalism, full employment, etc. So, the theories follow the partial equilibrium analysis in order to study a particular individual unit of an economy, and they are based on certain assumptions such as perfect competition, laissez-faire policy, which do not exist in reality. These assumptions make the analysis simple and the theory static, but at the same time neglect the interdependence between economic variables and changing economic world. Fifth point is slicing method. Microeconomics uses slicing method. It splits or divides the whole economy into small individual units and then studies each unit separately in detail. Example study of individual income out of national income or study of individual demand out of aggregate demand. It means they are not going to study about the national income. They are going to first study about the individual income, which is the main concept in the microeconomics. That they have to study only the individual units. They are not going to study the whole economy. Sixth is use of marginalism principle. The concept of marginalism is the key tool of microeconomic analysis. The term marginal means change brought in total by additional unit. Marginal analysis helps to study a variable through the changes. Producers and consumers take economic decisions through using these principles. Seventh point, analysis of market structure. We have to study about all the information about the market structure, which kind of market structures are there. Microeconomics analyzes different market structures such as perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, etc. Eighth point is limited scope. Scope of microeconomics is limited to individual units. As students, we had all learned till now that microeconomics studies about only the individual units. They are not doing the study about the whole economy. So that's why there is a limited scope of microeconomics. It doesn't deals with the nation-wide economic problems such as inflation, deflation, poverty, unemployment, population, economic growth, etc. Students, we had already done with the features of microeconomics, which is an important question, and in that we had learned 8 features. Now we are moving further with the importance of microeconomics. That is also important. In that, the first point is price determination. Microeconomics explain how the prices of different products are determined, or you can say it helps in explaining how the prices of different commodities are determined. It also explains how the price of various factors of production are determined. For example, rent for land, wages for labor, interest for capital, profit for entrepreneur. So these all are determined in the commodity as well as in the factor market. Second point is free market economic. Microeconomics helps in understanding the working of free market economy. Free market economy means where the economic decision regarding production of goods are taken on individual basis, like what to produce, how much to produce, how to produce. All these decisions regarding the production of goods are taken by individual. There is no intervention of government or any other agency. These decisions are based on the preference of consumer or demand of the product. Third point is foreign trade. Microeconomics helps in various aspects of foreign trade. Foreign trade, it means whenever we are doing the trade between the two countries. So while doing the trade between the two countries, there are some rules and regulations with the different governments of both the countries, and that rules and regulations all the businessman has to following while conducting the business. So microeconomics helps in various aspects of foreign trade. like effect of tariff on particular commodity, tariff quota. They have to understand for particular commodity what are the tariff, tax, as well as the quota of particular commodity. They have to determine the currency exchange rate of any two countries. It means when the goods will go from one country to another country, obviously there is the exchange of currency, gains from international trade to a particular country, etc. When we will do more export, then only a particular country will able to gain in the form of profit from a particular foreign country. So this all the aspect we are going to learn in the microeconomics. Fourth point is economic model building. Microeconomics helps in understanding various economic situation, that is the complex economic situation, with the help of economic model. Now what is economic model? An economic model is simplified version of reality that allows us to observe, understand and make prediction about the economic behavior. A good model or the good economic model is simple enough to understand any of the complex situation to get a proper information about that. So many of the economists, even though using the word theory instead of model, it has made a valuable contribution to economics while developing various terms, concepts, terminologies, tools of various economic analysis, etc. Economics models are built using various economic variables. So that's why economic model is very important to understand any of the complex economic situation. Fifth point is business decision. Microeconomic theory are helpful to businessmen for taking crucial business decisions. Decisions are related to determination of cost of production, determination of price of goods, maximization of output, profit, etc. So that's why whenever they have to decide the cost of production or they have to decide what will be the price of the goods, always microeconomics helps the businessman to take a proper decision for earning the profit or for the cost of production, etc. Sixth point, useful to government. Microeconomics is useful to government in framing economics policy. Economic policies such as taxation policy, public expenditure policy, price policy, etc. It always helps to the government. This economic policy helps the government to achieve its goal of efficient allocation of resources and promoting economic welfare of the society. Seventh point is the basis of welfare economics. Microeconomics explain how best result can be achieved through optimum utilization of resources and its best allocation. It means it says that we have to do the maximum utilization of resources so that we will able to achieve the maximum result, best result, and try to do the less wastage of resources so that we can get the more and more output and we will able to achieve more and more profit in our business. It also studies how tax affects the social welfare. So tax also plays very important role for the social welfare. So microeconomics is the basis of welfare economics. Students, in this presentation, I had covered both the topic, that is the features of microeconomics and importance of microeconomics. Both the topics are important for the examination point of view. So please prepare it properly, both the topic. Okay, thank you students.